Have you ever felt paralyzed by fear? Not just a moment of hesitation, but the kind of fear that grips your chest like a vice, makes your palms sweat, your heart race, your stomach turn. The fear that tells you don't speak up, don't stand out, don't try, don't risk it. The fear that whispers, you're not ready, you're not good enough. What if you fail? That fear, your fear, has been robbing you of the love you never pursued, the business you never started, the conversation you never had, the talent you never shared, the life you never lived. Because every time you stood at the edge of possibility, fear pulled you back. And yet, fear isn't the enemy. The truth is, fear is the compass. Because the very thing you're afraid to do, that's often the exact thing you need to do. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young boy, quiet, observant, terrified of attention. Every time the teacher asked a question, he'd look down, praying not to be noticed. Every presentation felt like a death sentence. He could write beautiful stories, but would rather set them on fire than read them out loud. One day, a teacher pulled him aside and said, "Your voice matters more than your silence ever will." That boy was me. I didn't know it then, but that moment was the start of everything. Not because my fear disappeared, but because I decided for the first time in my life that courage was more important than comfort. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Because courage isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, like a muscle. And every time you choose to act in spite of fear, that muscle grows stronger. Fear isn't going away, but you can walk with it and still move forward. Let's begin by understanding something that changed my life. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signpost. We often think fear means danger, but most of the time, it means growth. Think about it. The job interview you're scared to take, the stage you're afraid to stand on, the relationship you're afraid to fight for. It's not danger you're sensing, it's transformation. Fear is not a wall, it's a mirror. It shows you exactly where you need to grow. But here's the trap we fall into. We wait for the fear to disappear before we act. We say things like, "Once I feel ready," or "Once I'm confident enough." But readiness is a myth. Confidence is earned, and action comes before courage, not after. If you're waiting to stop being afraid, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Let's take fear of public speaking. It's one of the most common fears in the world. People would rather be in the coffin than deliver the eulogy. Why? Because on that stage, every eye is on you. Every word feels permanent. Every silence feels like judgment. But do you know who's not afraid? The people who kept showing up. Not the ones born confident. The ones who stood on that stage again and again and again, sweating, stumbling, shaking, but refusing to run. They built their courage. The same applies to fear of rejection. Maybe you're afraid to express your feelings, afraid to pitch your idea, afraid to ask for help. Because what if they say no? But here's the truth. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It's a redirection to your strength. Every no brings you closer to the yes that matters. I've been rejected more times than I can count. From publishers, from investors, from people I cared about. But every rejection became fuel. Because eventually, the people who said no weren't as loud as the voice inside me saying, "Keep going." You don't overcome fear by thinking. You overcome it by doing. Action is the antidote. That brings us to the framework that changed everything for me: fear setting. Made famous by Tim Ferriss, fear setting is the opposite of goal setting. Instead of asking, "What do I want?" you ask, "What am I afraid of? What's the worst case scenario? How could I prevent it? If the worst happened, how could I recover?" Let me give you an example. I once had the opportunity to speak on a global stage. 5,000 people, cameras, lights. A dream come true and my greatest nightmare. So I did a fear setting session. Fear, I'll forget my lines. I'll freeze. I'll embarrass myself. Worst case, I go silent. The crowd stares. I walk off stage humiliated. Prevention, practice relentlessly. Prepare backup notes. Use breathing techniques. Recovery, own the mistake. Laugh it off. Try again. Nobody dies. And suddenly, the fear shrank. Because I wasn't running from shadows. I was facing them, naming them, and preparing for them. Fear loses power when you bring it into the light. Now, I want to share 5 powerful strategies to build real courage starting today. 1. Step into micro-bravery. You don't need to slay dragons. Just take one small, scary step every day. Speak up in a meeting. Start that YouTube channel. Message someone you admire. Each act rewires your brain. I did something scary, and I survived. Courage compounds. The more you practice, the bolder you become. 2. Talk to your fear, literally. Instead of suppressing fear, acknowledge it. Say, "Hello fear, I see you. You're trying to protect me, but I've got this." Sounds strange? Neuroscience backs it. Labeling emotions reduces their intensity. The moment you name fear, it loses its grip. 3. Borrow someone else's courage. Look at the people who inspire you. They were afraid, too. Nelson Mandela said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it." Find someone who's done what you're scared to do. Study them. Mirror them. Let their bravery infect you. 4. Reframe failure as feedback. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the tuition you pay for it. Every failure gives you data, direction, grit, growth. But only if you stay in the game. Failure doesn't break you. Quitting does. 5. Anchor your why. Fear screams loudest when your purpose is quiet. Why do you want to speak up? Launch that idea? Change your life? The stronger your why, the less power fear has. Your courage must be bigger than your comfort. Now, let's build this intensity. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff. Wind in your face. The ground far below. Your dream is waiting on the other side. But between you and it is the jump. You can stay safe, stay still, stay small, or you can leap. The fear will never disappear. But if you leap with it, if you bring it along, and jump anyway, you'll learn something extraordinary. You were never afraid of the fall. You were afraid of the flight. Because what if you actually soar? That's what courage is. Not the absence of fear, but the decision to act anyway. And when you act, something magical happens. You inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes contagious. You become the reason someone else believes they can too. Because fear is not unique to you. Everyone feels it. The difference is what you do with it. So I want to leave you with this. Whatever it is you're scared of saying it, starting it, sharing it, do it afraid. Speak up, even if your voice shakes. Show up, even if your knees tremble. Move forward, even if you stumble. Because courage isn't waiting for the fear to vanish. It's choosing to rise with it in your chest anyway. And I promise you, what's on the other side is worth it. The dream, the breakthrough, the person you're meant to become. You'll look back one day and realize the fear didn't stop you. You stopped listening to it, and that changed everything. You are more powerful than your fears. You just forgot.